This video will show you how to take a 2x10 and give it a live edge wood look like this. You can use a 2x8, but I'm using a 2x10. I'm cutting this board at 50 inches. These are the supplies I'm using. They'll also be in the description below. I first want to make sure what side is going to be my top piece. Then I'm going to freehand draw what I want my live edge to look like. There's no rhyme or reason to this, just make it have a nice little wavy tree feel to it. Then I grab my clamps, clamp both sides, and then I grab my Sawzall. Follow the line as much as possible. The reason I use the Sawzall versus a jigsaw is because, as you will see later, it does leave nice burn marks in the wood, which kind of represent what a live edge would look like. Now here's the finished cut for the straight part. You can see those burn marks in there. Now we're going to do some angled cuts. Remember, this is your board. You can put as many angles in it as you'd like to. I also run the teeth of the blade along the live edge just to give it a textured look. Then remember to flip it over and do the exact same thing to the bottom side. And this is what we are left with so far. Next, I'm going to add some texture to the top part of the shelf using various things such as the Sawzall itself, a hammer, and a screw. Now we use an angle grinder to smooth that out just a little bit and give some more interesting detail to the live edge. Now I give it a quick 2-minute sand. Now I'm going to be applying two different types of stain. One is a lighter color and one is a darker color. The lighter color, I do 2 coats all over the board. Make sure you get it in those little nicks and grooves on the live edge part. The second part is the darker color, which is coming up, and I only do that on the front live edge piece to give it that burnt kind of look. And here I go applying the darker color on just the live edge side. Now I'm going to set the holes for the dowel rods, starting out with a smaller screw to do all 4 of them. I'm doing 4 dowel rods. Then I follow up on the same hole with the 1/2-inch screw to mark the same size as the 1/2-inch dowel rod. Then I mark 1.5 inches off the back straight side of the board. I cut that with a table saw. You can also use a circular saw. And as you can see, I marked the right side up just so I know what side is what and I don't have any confusion. Then I go back through and I make those holes bigger so the dowel rods can fit in there nice. I do the back board first and then the front board. Makes it easier for the dowel rods to get in there without struggling. Then I put the dowel rods in, make sure they fit okay, and then I take a pencil and I mark where I need to cut each dowel rod to make them flush with the back side of the board. Now I glue the dowel rods into the back side of the shelf. I make sure the dowel rod's flush with the back. I also glue the back part, and then I make sure to wipe off any excessive glue. Then I set the board like this to dry, therefore the dowel rods line up perfectly with the front part of the shelf when they're dry. I do 2 coats of clear coat spray. Then I let this dry for 24 hours. Now I find the center point of the wall that I'm going to set the shelf on. I make a mark there. Then I take a level and a stud finder and I find the 3 studs that I'm going to be attaching the shelf to and make a mark with a pencil where those are. Now I make the center piece of my shelf, put that up, and then I also mark where the studs are. Here I have a drill bit the same size as the back of my screws so they can be countersunk into this back part of the shelf. I don't drill all the way through. Then I take a bit that's the same size, maybe a little bit smaller than my screw, and I put that through the center so we don't have any board splitting. Now I screw in the center one, and then I can adjust with my level after this to do the other 2 screws since they're already lined up with the studs. Now I can attach the shelf. It may take a couple little taps, but it should slide in there just fine. And you're good to go. With these 4 dowel rods, the shelf should be able to hold 20 to 30 pounds without any problems whatsoever. The more dowel rods you add, the more it can hold. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, just let me know and I'll get right back to you. Appreciate it.